Good afternoon, everybody. We are here for a February update. And if you want to grab a drink, your favorite beverage, and your stitching, we will get started in just a few. Well, good afternoon, my friends. Today is Tuesday, March the 1st, 2022. Gosh, where did February get to? Just flew right by. I don't know where it got to. Can't believe it's March already. I want to let everybody know this is a channel about cross stitch. So if that's what you're interested in, you certainly have found the right place. And if you're new here, welcome. I am so very glad that you found us and hope you see something here that you like and will subscribe and come back again. It's a gorgeous day outside. I haven't been out, but it looks very warm out there. It looks really nice. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. I love reading all your comments. Some of them make me chuckle. Some of them give me a good belly laugh. But it is so much fun to be in touch with all of you that subscribe to the channel and write in the comments. I always look forward to that every time I do a video. So thank you for being here. Oh, let's see. What are we going to talk about today? Well, today I am going to go over my works in progress that I've been stitching on this month. We'll announce the giveaway winners of the pieces that are going to be rehomed. I thought I'd talk a little bit about the Nurge hoops because I had some questions on those. And maybe what else I've been up to, but we'll save that to the end in case you don't want to hear any updates, because we know that you're all here for the stitching, and that's what we shall get started with. So, what have I been stitching on this past month? Well, in all honesty, only 3 projects. Just 3. I haven't done a lot of rotating. We talked before and I said how I really wanted to focus on certain projects and get them worked on and get them finished. And Christmas stockings for my daughter and son-in-law are really the priority this year, or at least until they're finished. So we'll see how that goes. So the first one, and these are in no particular order, they just happen to be in the order I put them in the pile. So the first one I worked on is, and I apologize, I could not find my pictures from last time that I showed these. So I don't have a comparison for you to see how much I've stitched. You just got to kind of take my word for it. So the first one I worked on was the Home Sweet Home Stitch Along by the Bay Needle Arts. And I believe I was maybe just on this side that might have been finished. So I finished this side. I worked on this side. I did up here in the clouds, and that's about all I got done. This tends to be a project that I will work on in the evening, just because it's easier. Well, yeah, easier stitching than a heaven and earth design. So it's a good one for in the evening when you're watching TV. I said, because I am now, this is November, December, January, February, March one will be out next week. So I am really, really, really behind. And I was going to do an hour a day until I got caught up. Well, I lied. I didn't do an hour a day. I pick it up once in a while and put a couple strands of floss in, and it will get there. It's just not high on the priority list. So, but it will get there, and it will get finished. So that's where we are with Home Sweet Home Stitch Along. I can show you what it will look like. There you go. When it's finished. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe it's the November, December, January, February, March. It's the one, if you're looking at the screen, it's the one with the second row with the little red house in it, is the one that will come out this month. So me has some catching up to do, but it will get there. It will get there. The next one I've been working on is Pandemic. And I really did, well, I should say Home Sweet Home is done on 40 count Mallow by Swigert, and I'm using the recommended DMC. And I actually only worked on that for 2 days this month and did 1,300 stitches. That's all she got. Yeah, I was a slacker where it came to that one. But the next one I worked on was Pandemic. And this is how far we are. Whoops, let me go this way. This is how far we are on, oh, here we go, Pandemic. And, well, there's a bit of a story here. I believe when you saw it last time, it was pretty close to this far. I'm working over on this side, over here. Now, let me just go over here. Because what I did, let's go this way, okay? What I did is I had to frog all of this. The bird, the border, into the corner, all of this. Because right up in here, well, no, wait, there, right up in there, there were supposed to be 7 stitches, a space of 7 stitches before these peaks started. Yeah, maybe one day I will learn to count to 7 and not 8. because I added an extra stitch, which threw all of this off by one stitch, including this bird, because I counted this bird off of this corner, as opposed to counting it off of here. So the bird had to come out, and the whole corner had to come out and be restitched. I debated and I asked, should I frog it or should I fudge it? And finally decided it had to be frogged, because if I would have tried to fudge it, it's right up here in the very beginning of this whole side. So I would have had to fudge everything the whole way down just for one stitch too many. Now, had it been a full coverage that I added one stitch too many, I would have fudged it. I would have, in fact, I did that on one of my Grafts by Barbara and Cheryl years ago. I put one stitch too many in, and I did fudge it. So what I did is I picked a point in that area where I had one stitch too many, and I drew a yellow line down the entire length of the chart with a yellow marker. And every time I got to that stitch that had the yellow marker on it, I stitched it twice. No one was ever the wiser. You can't tell. You can't tell. But that was a full coverage piece, and you could play with it a little bit. I mean, what's one more stitch in the sky or one more stone in a path? It doesn't, it doesn't make a difference. Whereas this, because everything is so precise, I guess is the word I want. I mean, you have all these, all these borders all over the whole thing. And this next page, page 6, I didn't get to it yet, but from what I understand and from what I see looking at it, it's a bear to stitch. So how would I have fudged? No, we had to rip. We had to frog. We had a party with the frog. And let me tell you what, frogging on 25 count is no fun. Oh, till my guts wanted to take a scissors and get underneath each stitch and just clip it so that I could just use that that seam ripper that has that little silicone end on it that you can get your fuzzies off with. Yeah, no, I didn't trust to do that because I was afraid I was going to cut my fabric. And on top of already having to frog close to 1,000 stitches, I didn't want to cut my fabric and have to either repair it if I could or restart. No, too much done to restart. I'm about 20, a little over 20% finished with this. So do you really want to redo? Do you really want to restitch all of this? No, I don't think so. I do not think so. But I gotta say, I do love working on this. I really do love the red with the white stitching. Yeah, I love it. So what I did on Pandemic, I worked on it 12 days this month, and I stitched 3,357 stitches. Now, some of those were twice, but be that neither here nor there. That's just the way it is. It is what it is, and you know what? We rip it, we fix it, and we move on. It just is what it is. And the last thing I stitched on this month is my Frosty. My Frosty, the stocking for my daughter. He's coming along so very nicely. So I was, the last time I think I showed this, I was working here on the diagonal, and I was doing cross country within the diagonal. And I did like that. I do like that method. It does go a lot faster than going row by row or block by block. You can finish your thread. It has a lot of positive things to it. But then people started talking about Stitching Mommy's latest video where she explained further her typewriter method. Well, what can I say, guys? You all know me. There's something new out there. I have to try it. What can I say? So I started looking at what is my highest stitch that hasn't been stitched. And it was over on this side. So I started using that method over here. And you know, I think I'm liking it even better than cross country within the diagonal. I really am enjoying it. You know, I don't have to worry about putting threads back on a bobbin or back in the bag or whatever. I can stitch, keep working until my thread runs out. When my thread runs out, I have been moving to the next color. It's filling it in nicely. And again, I don't have a picture of what it looked like last time, but I can show you a picture of what it looks like finished. Let's put it over here. There you go. Yeah, I'm rather enjoying it. So I think I was up, I think the last time I was up here, I didn't have a lot of this sky filled in, a side of the hat and between this, where the lantern goes. So I got a lot of that sky filled in, and now I'm, just about down to filling in the hat and starting his head, and I'll be getting over here where the lamp goes. So it's coming along. So I worked on this 17 days this month, and I stitched 3,835 stitches. So not too bad. Normally I get a little bit more done, but there were some other things that got in the way of stitching, like my granddaughter's birthday party was on Sunday, so that basically took a day away from stitching. In a little bit, I'll get to the other thing that took a little bit more time away from stitching, but in the long run, it made things easier. So that's what I've been working on this month. Only 3 projects. But that has been very manageable. And I'm finding what I do is when I'm over here in this stitching area, I work on the Christmas stocking. When I'm in the living room in that stitching area in the evening, With my husband, I work on pandemic because it's all one color. I don't have to be changing colors. I just have to be following the chart and hopefully counting correctly, and don't miscount. You have to frog. But, it's an easier stitch for in the evening. So that's really what I've been doing and why I have really kind of focused on those two. That seems to be working very well, and I'm liking that. I really am liking working that way. So that's something at this point I'm probably going to keep doing. So that's the works in progress. How about the giveaway rehoming winners? And I drew that. I did the random comment picker before I started this video. And I will announce, and I will go back and I haven't done it yet, but I will put a note on your comment, those people that won, so that you can get a hold of me. And where do I have it? Oh no. Did I take it out? I thought I had my email. Well, I'll put my email up for you. And oh my goodness. Where did all my stuff go? Oh, here they are. Okay. The winner of Spread Your Wings. We'll do that one first. This was Spread Your Wings. Now, again, this is not the chart and it is not the thread. It is strictly this unfinished piece. And I hope I say your name correctly. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Sorry. VRPR is the winner of Spread Your Wings. So if you will get a hold of me, I will, in fact, let me do it real fast here. You probably can see this. Should have done this before. There we go. There's my email. If you will send me an email with your mailing address, I will get this mailed out to you. So congratulations. And I hope that you will be giving Spread Your Wings a happy home and finish her. Okay. The next one is Anniversaries of the Heart. Oh, wrong way. Which has just about 4 blocks finished. And again, this is just this piece, no charts and no thread. And the winner of that is Rhonda Mason. So congratulations, Rhonda. And again, if you get a hold of me at this email address and send me your mailing address, I will get this mailed out to you. I will also put a comment on your post in the video that everyone had to comment on in order to be considered for the drawing. So thank you for participating, and get a hold of me and I will get this in the mail. And then the last one is for houses. Oh, Rhonda. My mistake. Houses of Hawk Run Hollow, which is this one, is the one you won. Oh my gosh. Can you tell I'm not with it? Okay, Rhonda, houses is yours. Okay? My mistake. Houses and heart. Got them mixed up. The heart of the house. So, Rhonda, houses of Hawk Run Hollow. And now, anniversaries of the heart goes to Eugenia A. So, Eugenia, also send me an email at this email address. It's klbugg@gmail.com. I will also put a comment on your comment to let you know that you have won. And hopefully you will also see it in this video. I will, I know not everybody watches the videos right away. Some of you do. I have to laugh because sometimes I no sooner get one posted and I can already see that there's like 5, 6, 10 people already watching it, and it's only been up for 10 minutes. That's great. That's wonderful. But I will give each of you 2 weeks in order to get a hold of me, to claim your orphan to be rehomed. If I don't hear from you in 2 weeks, I will redraw for someone else that had put in for it. So get a hold of me as soon as you can so that we can get these mailed out to you. So congratulations to the winners, and thank you for participating and for rehoming the pieces that I have not necessarily fallen out of love with, but fallen out of the desire to stitch them. So thank you for giving them a new loving home. I appreciate that. So I had questions. Let me get a drink here first. I had a couple people ask me about the Nurge hoops. I've been using Nurge hoops for quite some time. I would say maybe, probably going on at least 2 years now. And I started out with these. And in all honesty, these are almost identical to the Hardwick Manor hoops. They operate the same way. They're sized a little bit differently. They're sized by numbers. So this particular size is a number 3. And I believe, let me double check here. Yeah, this is a 6-inch hoop. So a number 3 is 6 inches. Okay, and it has, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, number 3, and then it has Nurge written on the side. These are every bit as good as the Hardwick Manor. And they do not cost quite as much as the Hardwick Manor hoops. Personally, I love them. They hold your fabric drum tight. It doesn't loosen up. And I have a video on it, but the trick, yeah, I don't have my screwdriver over here. But the trick is, see that little notch in that screw? That's there for a reason. when you just hand tighten this, it's not going to hold your fabric drum tight because it's not tight enough. Personally, I like the wider, so I think this is a 3/16. So it is the wider of the two. You have more surface area that holds your fabric. So it does stay tight. It does stay tight. But what I do is, golly, I wish I would have. Yeah, I don't have my screwdriver here. I don't think I have one in there. No. That's what you call being lazy. That's what you call being lazy. I have a little ratchet, okay, which is really nice. So I just ratchet it off, okay. But what I do, I don't even wrap them. Like, you know, a lot say wrap the hoop to prevent the crushing. And in all honesty, this has been in one of these hoops for 2 weeks. Can you tell? I mean, you can see a faint line where the hoop was, but really, seriously, that's going to disappear within a short amount of time. But when you're putting your fabric in, and do all of you know that instead of you putting your fabric in, and maybe a lot of you have figured this out, but instead of putting your fabric in this way, so that, you know, your fabric's on the top, put this piece underneath. Put your ring in the top. And stitch in the well. Do you know why? How many times have you flipped your hoop over to end a thread and your needle bumps up against this inside and you can't end your thread right, or you have to really fuss in order to be able to manipulate your needle? If you put it in your hoop this way, you don't have that problem. Okay. What you do then to get your fabric tight is, you know, put your fabric in. And I have a video on doing this. But start to pull it. Start to pull it tight. Okay? And get everything, you know, smoothed out. But then start to tighten it. Okay? And then go around and pull it some more. Okay? And try to keep things as straight as you can. Okay? Pull it some more. All right. Now, do you see how that's starting to tighten up? Okay. So now, do this in increments. Tighten it again, a little bit more, and do the same thing. Pull it again. And as I pull, you can see it. You can see the the wrinkles or whatever pulling out of it. Okay. Getting tighter. Okay. See? And then I would give it another turn and see, can I pull it just a little bit more? I can. And now, drum tight. Okay. And now I'll tighten it the rest of the way. Okay. That is drum tight. That does not come loose. It does not come loose, and what helps it to stay very tight is the fact that it is a wider hoop, so you have more surface tension on your fabric that lets it stay where it is. Okay, so that's how you put it in a hoop. These are every bit as good as a Hardwick Manor hoop. The price is extremely reasonable. I know some Hardwick Manor hoops I've paid, let's see. Oops. Hardwick Manor hoops. Here we go. Okay, here's a 7-inch by 5.5-inch oval for $50. Round hoops. Depending on the size, they can be anywhere from 17 to 22 to, well, let's look at the round ones. I'll take a 7-inch hoop. That ain't right. But I know in shops I paid $20, $30, here somewhere as much as $50. On Amazon, I bought my Nurge hoops off of eBay or Etsy, but you can also buy them off of Amazon. Here, .31 centimeters, which I believe it said is 12-inch hoop, is $13.99. A 6-inch hoop is $10.99. A 7-inch hoop is $10.99. So, I mean, it's up to you. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying I do like the Nurge hoops. And again, they have the different thicknesses. They come in okay, let me get back here. 8 millimeters. I think it's 8 millimeters, 16 millimeter. But there's different thicknesses, and personally, I like the 16 millimeters ones. I find that they work the best and they hold the fabric the best. So that's what I use. You're certainly, just putting it out there as information, so you use what you want. The other thing I recently got, and I think I talked about these before, these are also Nurge hoops, and they're plastic. And again, my personal opinion, I prefer this over a Q-snap because it does hold your fabric tighter. For me, it holds my fabric tighter than a Q-snap. These are set up similar to a Morgan hoop. Okay, they have the little ridge. See that? They have, oops, wrong way. Little ridge inside that meets up with this little lump here on this one. And then they just fit together. And you put your fabric in these the same way as what I showed you on the wooden hoop. You know, you get everything lined up, you start to tighten it, you pull your fabric tight. Tighten it a little more, pull your fabric tight. This does not come loose either. So I will use, depending on what I'm stitching and how much room I want, I will use either or. Either or. It's really a toss up at this point. This comes in 4 different sizes. This is a size 2. So a size 2 is working area is about 6 by, it's about 6 by 6, thereabouts, or 6 by 6.5. So it's a nice area. The other thing I really like, is for me, if I'm going to not use my stand, whether it be my Lowry stand or my Patoki stand, and I'm holding my hoop or my frame, this is much lighter, and it's a whole lot easier for me to hold than a Q-snap. So I've kind of resorted to using this instead of Q-snaps. I do have, this is a size 2. I do have a size 3, which is a bit bigger, and I do not have the largest size. So that's my take on Nurge hoops. And for those of you, and I think there are a couple of you out there that have gotten the Nurge stand, this works with the Nurge stand. I was just doing it last night. So you can also use these on the Nurge stand as well as these hoops. So whichever. So that's my take on Nurge hoops. So if you have any more questions about that, just leave me a message in the comments, and I will try very hard to get back to you with an answer or my thought. Well, the last thing I have is what else has been taking up my time over the last month. I kind of decided a little bit ago that rather than have thread in this project, thread in this project, thread in this project, and looking at the thread that I have so many duplicates. And if I start something new, I tried to go through what I had, but I didn't always catch everything. And I ended up with, some colors I have as many as 6 or 8 skeins of the same color. And then some skeins, I had none. So it made it difficult, no matter what the project was, I'd end up having to buy maybe half the colors. And then if I had to buy half, I'd say, oh, nuts to it, just buy them all. And I ended up with such a wealth of thread. In fact, I don't know if you can see it. Those 4 big drawers on the bottom of that cart are nothing but bags of thread sorted by numbers. Okay, so all the 100s are in a bag, all the 200s are in a bag, all the 300s are in a bag. They're full. They're full. I can't put no more bags in there. And I thought, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. So, what I did, and I'm probably going to switch to my overhead camera. Let me get some of this out of the way and make room here in my little area here. What I did is I bought an ottoman tray. I'm going to switch cameras on you here. Let me bring this around. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. Let me zoom out a little. Oy vey. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. I bought an ottoman tray. And I put 1 skein of each color. And this is my master set. 1 skein of each color in here. Yep, these are my little clippies that I use to clip. And I still have enough room here for, keep my scissors in there. I can keep a pen in there. For any extras that I would need, I can put a container in there to put my orts in. But this is 1 skein of, I filled in my missing colors. It's 1 skein of every color. So what I did is I put them in a floss away bag. Okay, oops, this way. And I put a index card in, and I had gotten little stickers off of Etsy. So I have the number in the top corner. Some of the bags have numbers written on, and some of the bags have numbers written on the card, but I didn't scratch them out or anything, because I know whatever the sticker says is what's in the bag. Because that's how I marked. And every bag has a sticker in the upper left-hand corner. So when I need a color, it's easy to see. I can just, here we go. See, I can just flip through and easily find the color that I need. And I need 906, so I'm going to pull it out. And then usually, to make it easy to put back, I pull the envelope or the bag either right in front or right in back of it. So I have 906 out. This is 905. So when I go to put it back, I just have to put it behind and push that one back down in. And I left enough room to give me room to get things in and out and keep them in some semblance of neatness. Well, let me tell you. Let me tell you. This took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. But that's okay, because now I can virtually start anything or work on anything. If I'm going to go somewhere, like I'm going to the spring retreat in Ocean City, Maryland at Salty Yarns in May, What I will do then is whatever projects I'm going to take with me, I will just pull the colors from this set and take them along. Like, I'm not going to take this whole tray of floss along. So for something like that, I will just pull what I need for those projects for that week. And then when I come home, I'll just stick everything back in. So that's doable. But what it also means is if I'm going to, now I haven't been, and this is one of the things that has worked out very well, is if I keep the stocking over here and work on that here, I have all the colors. And if I work on Pandemic, which is one color in the living room, I just keep my cone of B5200 in the living room. So I don't have to go back and forth. But should I decide to work on the stocking in the living room, then I just take this whole tray over and set it on the sofa aside of me and stitch there. It's not heavy. It's very light. It's not hard to carry, so it works quite well. But it took a little bit longer than I anticipated that it was going to take to set it all up. But that's okay, because in the long run, I know I don't have to go hunting for a color. I have them all right here. If I run out of a color, then I can check my bags, my plethora of floss. In fact, those 4 drawers are full, but there's a shoebox on top of that. Oops, over here. Wait, no, this way. That shoebox is full of stuff that needs to be put in the bags. And there's a drawer. Oh, well, anyway, there's a drawer on top of the one up from the 4 large drawers that also has floss that has to be put away in the bags. Yeah. I had to find a system because it was so disorganized. And I don't know. I know a little better now what I have, but I had no idea what I had. And I had no idea I had so many of certain colors. But it is what it is, and hopefully it will get used. And if not, somebody's going to get a plethora of floss. What can I say? What can I say? So, I don't know that I have anything else for today. I think I rambled on again long enough. So let's see. We did the works. We did the Nurge hoops. We did the rehoming. We did the floss organization. I really don't have much else for today. I am planning on doing a live. I'm thinking at this point Thursday, probably about 10 a.m. And I will post a up and coming live thing on YouTube so that to give everybody a heads up and a reminder. Yeah, Thursday, 10 a.m. So look for that, and hopefully you'll be able to join me. And for that, we're just going to have a stitch and chat. So whatever you want to talk about, we will do that. So like I said, I really don't have anything else for today. And I just want to say thank you to all of you for having me in your home today and for spending time with me. It's always a joy. I look forward to your comments, and I look forward to seeing you next time. So have a great rest of your week, and I will see you on Friday. Bye-bye.